Raila has started his theatrics. I'm saying this, and trust you me, Raila has started his theatrics hardly 2 days since they met with Ruto in Mombasa. Before I get into all these theatrics, I know you are wondering what kind of theatrics I'm talking about. Before I get into all these theatrics that I want to talk about, first and foremost, if you are new in this platform, I'd like you to take a second to subscribe to this platform, because that is the only way you can support this platform. So take a second, subscribe to this platform. For those who don't know me, my name is the African Updater. All we do here is we analyze politics, and I also bring you up to speed on what is happening in the political space in Kenya and in the globe. And that is why I'm called the African Updater. So kindly, and I also share my opinions on some of the political things that are happening around the country. So kindly take a second, subscribe, and then I'll be back. Yes guys, so thank you for subscribing. As I said, Raila has started his theatrics. He has started his hey, aya, all those dramas, all those things that he always tell his supporters, and they get excited and they feel like now they are on top of everything, that Raila is in charge of everything. For me, I feel like Raila is always the king of these dramas, and these things are getting old. These things are no longer becoming interesting. But hey, there are some people who still believe in those theatrics and everything. So why am I saying that Raila has started his theatrics hardly 2 days before he left? Hardly 2 days when he met Ruto in Mombasa. Ruto is still in Mombasa doing his kawaida thing of trying to give promises and on top of promises and everything. So he's still in Mombasa. Raila left, went to Kisumu, did some baraza meeting or some sort in Kisumu, then he's now in Siaya, did some baraza thing. But there's something he said after that baraza thing in Siaya, which I want you to listen. Once you listen, and then I'll come back with kama kawaida, with my opinion and my views about it.
But to ensure that all the provisions of our constitution are fully implemented. We want to take bad governance to the museum. We don't want to see our youth being abducted and then taken to some unknown places, tortured and some of them killed. That must be something of the past. We don't want to see corruption reigning in our country. That Kenya is rated as one of the most corrupt countries in the world. We will fight corruption and finish corruption in our country.
Yes, so we are back. So Raila, you've listened to that he was talking to the press. Umesikia Kenya amesema vizuri, amesema that he's still consulting, and he still stand for they still want to uphold the constitution. There are so many things that that have been done in this country that he feels like as Jakwazi kienda vizuri, and above all is saying that he was indirectly attacking Ruto by saying that we don't want this thing of people are being abducted, they end up being killed, they end up being tortured, they end up in places that they don't know and everything, that this thing should stop and the corruption should stop. So Raila was attacking the president indirectly. He was calling out the president indirectly. Now we want to analyze that statement and why Raila made that statement. And why Raila is making that statement after a lot of remember he went to Kisumu, met with ODM party organs in Kisumu, and then he met with grassroots youth leaders in Kisumu. Then he went again in Siaya and did the same, and then he's making that statement. Raila is now or has started to realize that he's losing the ground, especially in Nyanza. He has realized that there are those things that people know Raila for, those values that Raila stands for, that people no longer see that Raila fights for those things. And now he wants to reclaim that glory. that fading glory, because it's fading. I can't say it has faded 100%, but it's fading, and it's fading very fast. So Raila has just noticed that working with Ruto will not be a good thing for him. Siding with Ruto will not be a good thing for him, because the ground is talking a different language. Because the truth of the matter is, people are never happy the day Raila joined hands with Ruto. Remember, Raila has worked with Uhuru, but people were not as this bitter, or did not have this kind of nini against Raila when he worked with Uhuru as the way they have with when Raila is working with Ruto. It's because the truth of the matter is that Ruto has lost favor in the eyes of Kenyans and in the eyes of God. And anyone who comes close to him, his image is lost. Raila is looking for his legacy, and he has realized from talking to these people, because these people tell him the truth. People tell him that, Raila, working with Ruto is messing up your legacy. No one will remember you for the things you've done, because everyone will always remember you for the day you stood with the oppressor. So you need to redeem that image. You need to clean up your image. You need to reclaim your position. And the sooner you start it, the better. Because the Raila, people are saying so much that the Raila they see right now is not the Raila they used to know. And it's not because people are happy that Raila is always in the opposition. No. The reason why people follow Raila religiously for so many years is because Raila has always stood for what is right. Of course, there are a lot of injustices being done by Moi's government, Kibaki, Uhuru, and Ruto. But Raila has always been that one man who has always stood on the side of the people. And the moment Raila loses that tag of standing on the side of the people always, then Raila loses all the things that we can tag him, we can put on him and say that this is the thing. And people are bitter. Raila has been told that people are bitter with the way how he supported Ruto as at that time. Kenyans have not forgiven him. So the worst mistake he can do is to continue now working with Ruto after your story at Gen Z. Because Kenyans at that time, formed this nini that Raila is always greedy and is always looking out for his own interest. That is what Raila portrayed. And this consultation that Raila is doing is anambiwa ukweli. People are coming out and telling him in these barazas that he's having. People are telling him the truth. People are telling him that, Baba, come on, you are losing it. And one thing that Raila needs to understand, and I think these people are telling him, and he can even hire people like us and telling him that the generation, these Gen Zs, these people don't know what Raila has done for this country. The millennials know. Millennials have been there. They have seen Raila fight for. But these Gen Zs, they don't know and they don't care. So for them, which they are the majority, for them, unless you come ukuja on their side, until they see that, hey, this old man is fighting for us, this old man is for us, they will never have any respect or regard for you. These people, they will treat you the way they treat Ruto. They will put you in some coffins on the internet and everything. They will do all these sorts of things. And these are the coming generation. These are the people of the future. You know, that's the reality. As much as we are trying to put these young people down, these are the future. This from 2027, and watakuwa na say, whether you like it or not. These old ODM people who always feel like anyone who is 40 and above, trust you me, the Gen Zs will have a say in this country. They are the future of this country. And until you create us, until you go on the same side with them, trust you me, you are going to go home. And that's why you wonder why people like Sifuna, people like Ndinyoro, people like Babuino are still loved by these young people. They are loved by these young people because these young people don't care about history. And this is one thing that people in Raila's space need to keep on reminding. These people don't care about history. These people don't care about, oh, sijui, you suffered for 9 years. These people don't care about history at all. These people care about who will take them into the future. And if you want to understand Why I tell you why these people don't care about. You remember in 2022 Raila used to campaign by telling us a lot of history. Oh, sijui there was a time, sijui nini and the country has come a long way and nini. These people, they voted for Ruto. These young people, Gen Zs, most of them voted for Ruto. Even Luos who are Gen Z, they voted for Ruto. They will, at that time they will come up openly and tell us, hey, mimi naenda kuvotia Ruto bana. Mimi naenda kuvotia Ruto, because they don't care about history. You are giving them a lot of history. You are doing a lot of old politics at yours during our days. Sijui nini, we've come out. Yes, we are here. We have this constitution. Let them read those history in the history books. Let them sit down and read those things in the history book. Then they will know who Martin Shikuku is, who Gitogo Imanyara is, Matiba is, nani. These people don't know that, and they don't care about that. They need someone who has practical solutions for their future. What do you have for us in the future? What can you do for us now and in the future? And they're the majority, and they're the one who are going to dictate the kind of politicians we are going to have. These young people now need solutions. They don't need a lot of imaginations, a lot of storytelling and a lot of literature. They don't need that. And someone who in the Raila space should tell him that these people don't need literature. History is important, yes, but history is important if you can only go back and read. Like if right now I want to know something about Adolf Hitler, there are books and documentaries I can watch and get to know about it. But you coming up and reminding me, oh, this thing happened, we don't care where the country came from. That is the reality. These young people don't care where the country came from. Someone like me, I can appreciate where the country came from. But anyone who never lived under Moi's era, because I was very young during Moi's era, but anyone who has not lived under Moi's era will not understand these things. No matter how much you keep on reminding him and telling him, oh, we did this, they will not understand. Anyone who has not lived under Kibaki's era will not understand who Kibaki was, who Moi was. So stop giving them history. Start giving them practical solutions. What will you do for the youths? What will you do for the young people? What kind of policies will you come up with that will help them? How will you improve their nini? How will you make sure that they get opportunities? Because right now these people, they don't care about history. They want jobs. They want jobs. They want things working. They want to see that systems are running and these things are working and we are getting opportunities and we are working. Because these people most of them have left university and are jobless. Hawana kazi. So they are wondering, why did I go to school? So I plead with anyone in the Raila space to tell that Raila the truth. All these higher, these are nonsense. These are nonsense. These are things that have been put on our wakati. And these are things that they are neither here or there. The higher, the hey, nini nimekuja, si baba ni. We appreciate Baba for what he has done. Baba has fought for this country so much. But Baba, it is high time you come back to the side of the people. All those people who are telling you, oh, they will support Ruto in 2022, in 2027, regardless. There are some people who are saying, oh, we'll vote for Ruto in 2022 simply because they feel like, if tomorrow Raila wakes up and says that now I'm no longer working with Ruto, the same people who are posting on the internet that, oh, we'll support Ruto and nini, watakuwa wamechange tena tune. Watakuwa tena, oh, no, Ruto is bad, nini. So, sycophancy. Raila has got people who are just sycophants for no reason. Me, I used to be a Raila supporter. I'm no longer a Raila supporter. But I've never been a sycophant. I've always been factual. If I feel like something is right, I'll say it's right. If I feel like this is not working, this is not working. Like right now, Raila has messed up his needing, and until he reclaims, and I told you here, the only way that Raila will reclaim that position is by impeaching Ruto. Is by trying always to impeach Ruto. That is the only big thing he can do. You get? But any other thing, because right now, no matter how much he tries to get himself out of this mud, people will still tag him to the failures of this government. The moment he took his MP, his followers, his nini to work with Ruto, that's the day ODM lost credibility. Hata wakijitoa kwa hii government, broad-based and blah, whatever they call it, they will not come out, that tag will not come out for them, that they are clean. They are not clean. The same way walishindo kujishafisha na Uhuru in 2022. People keep on reminding ODM, nyinyi see you are in government, see you are in the handshake government. They used to call it handshake government. So right now, instead of Raila learning from that, he went ahead and did another handshake with Ruto, and he expect that now yeye pia atakuwa ODM itakuwa safi. ODM will keep on losing because Raila always keeps on making mistakes, and he doesn't learn from these mistakes. Now he's going around doing the same, giving us the same vibe at yo, I'm consulting. How many times has Raila consulted? Raila always consults, and then comes up and makes a blunder. So all this consultation you are being treated to, forget about them. These consultations will take you, it will be another consultation. I'm consulting, and then it comes out that I'll announce next week, and then that week passes, and then another week we are going to announce, we are going to announce again the other week, and then another consultation and another consultation, and then later he comes and announce something very kawaida. So Raila, this kind of politics, we are used to them. They are all these theatrics. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for everyone who has watched my video until where we are right now. I really appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Kindly share, kindly subscribe, and kindly hit that notification bell so that anytime I post a video you get updated. Remember, on this platform, I always say I give my analysis and I also give my opinion. Most of you sometimes feel I'm biased. No, I always attack. If I feel like Ruto is bad, I'll come back. I'll say something about him. If I feel like Raila is bad, I'll say what I feel about him and all the other things. That is what means. You can't be someone who doesn't take a stand. You need to take a stand in everything, because in politics, because remember what we are fighting for. We are fighting for good governance, and these systems needs to work in this country. Thank you so much, and if you want to support me in any other way, my number is there. Neza rusha kakitu. Thank you so much. Till next time. Bye-bye.
The African Update.